Well, if you are planning to run virtual Bloomsday, you now have a few extra days to do so. Bloomsday organizers have now extended the period that racers have to complete 7.46 miles. The race dates are now from September 18th through September 27th. Of course, these extended dates now is due to our smoky conditions. Bloomsday is encouraging runners and walkers to wait until the air quality levels become healthy so that they can participate. Well, have you ever wondered how the iconic Bloomsday race came to be? I had a chance to interview Bloomsday founder Don Kardong to talk about the origin of the race now in its 44th year. Okay, so just for folks that are not as familiar with Bloomsday, maybe they're new to town, can you just give us a little bit, like, when did Bloomsday start and what was the idea for Bloomsday?
Well, it started in 1977, and you mentioned that I had been in the 1976 Olympics. And really, before those Olympics, I'd been invited to one of the first big road races in the country, the Peachtree road race in Atlanta. So I thought, this is such a great thing. We should have something like this in Spokane. Starting kind of late fall of 1976, we got some people together and started planning, and by the next spring, we had the first Bloomsday run. So that was May 1st, 1977.
How many runners were in the first Bloomsday? We
know we had just almost 1,200 official finishers because we have times for that many people.
Wow.
So we probably had maybe closer to 1,500 people who had signed up, but 1,200 actual finishers. By the next year, we grew to 5,000, and then by the third year, we were at 10,000.
Wow.
So we grew very fast and kind of hit the wave of that first running boom right on. And it just had some other things here locally that worked to our advantage, too. We had, we had Expo 74, and the downtown was renovated, and we had the first riverfront park, which seemed like a good place to finish at the time. And then we had just a lot of people who were excited about things that were happening in Spokane.
Was it hard to get city leaders to go along with this idea to, I suspect, close down certain streets and, do this event?
I've always thought that one of our best, advocates was then Mayor David Rogers. He grew up in Boston, and he remembered as a young man the Boston Marathon going through his neighborhood, so he kind of had a sense of how that might help transform the city.
They have a category called the perennials, of which you are one, and the perennials are people that have run every single Bloomsday. And I think we have 81 perennials, and I said, of course, that you are one of them, and you'll be running virtually this year, I suspect.
That is right. Yeah. And I think 81 is the right number. And those are people who, for whatever reason, that very first year thought, yeah, this will be interesting, and then just kind of kept at it. And then after a certain amount of time, they become kind of proud of the fact that they've got that streak going, and they want to remain a perennial and bloom every spring.
Now, that's amazing. Well, look, Don, I've taken up enough of your time, but I think it's important to let you know that this event doesn't happen without you and some of your friends putting this together. You should always get the best seat in the restaurant, and you should never have to buy your first beer, for the great stuff you've done for Spokane. Don, I wish you a very successful Bloomsday this year. I know you're retired from Bloomsday, but you still participate. So thanks very much for everything you've done for this city and Bloomsday.
Sure enough, it's been really fun, and I stay as involved as I can.